Uh, Hello. Let's see if I can get my camera. I don't want to mess you guys up too much here with this lovely camera. Thank you for tuning in today. I just, if you don't mind listening to me rant for just a few moments, I just wanted to point out a couple things. Maybe introduce myself a little more, and maybe you get a glimpse into my head. Um, my name is Tyler Anthony. I am 25 as of just about 3 weeks ago. Um, I'm a pretty. I guess you could call me a little bit of a Renaissance man. I got all kinds of things, and maybe a little bit too much. I will say a lot too much going on. There's a lot I want to do, and I try to do, and it's not easy. And yes, you can see on my wall, I got some cool stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and preach that I'm a homeless person or I'm a poor person but I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I have money either, because I don't. That's why I don't have money. Um, no, I consider myself the lower class. I am. I currently am actually lost. I lost my job 3 weeks ago. Yeah, just 2 days after my birthday. Yay me. Um, which is funny because it's not the only job that's let me go around my birthday. So, just goes to show how companies look at you. And right before the holiday season, right? I should have done this camera angle in a different spot. I don't know. I am job hunting. I've been job hunting every single day. In 3 weeks, I've yet to get a job. I've got a couple interviews. Don't have a job, but I'm trying really hard. I know I have a lot to offer. With all the jobs, that's why I said I'm a Renaissance man. I started off working at a McDonald's. Worked there for about 3 years. Kind of learned how customer service worked. So I'm trying to figure out how to hold this thing without doing too much damage to you guys. Don't want to be shaking you up, right? It was a job. It was definitely a job that made me realize, dime a dozen retail. But that's how, you learn. It's your first job. You get an idea for it. I learned a lot. I learned how customer service worked. I may not have been a manager, but my managers loved me and treated me as such. So I had a lot of responsibility, which was awesome. I liked it. My store manager and I never got along. That's a whole nother story. People just don't clash, and I definitely didn't clash well with my store manager. From there, I went to work at a Pizza Hut. I didn't mind it. It was a fun job. I got along with pretty much everyone. It didn't pay well, but you know what? It was a fun job. While working at Pizza Hut, I started working at a warehouse called Yakima Bait Company, where I made fishing lures. I didn't really care for the job, but it gave me an idea of a warehouse setting. And I did the best I could to make the best out of the job. I actually got promoted kind of twice while I was there. I started off as a painter. Now, my first one I called a promotion, but it really was more of just you're not going to do well as a painter, but, maybe you can do this position. And it was a step up where I was at. They moved me to a new area. Well, ended up being so good at it, they moved me up even again. Because they know that I get my shit done. I work hard. I liked it full time. I was working Pizza Hut and that job. While working both those jobs, I got hired on at a GameStop. Loved it because I was like family with all the people who worked there. I mean, these are people who we babysit each other's kids. Went to each other's weddings. Maybe you had a little bit too much to drink and watched X-Files, Split a $5 Little Caesars pizza and watched X-Files. Something about X-Files, I guess. While I was working all three jobs. I realized I didn't need three jobs, so I left Pizza Hut. Shortly after that, I was laid off. Slow season in the warehouse. But I worked at GameStop. I started working at Home Depot. Learned, it was interesting because it was retail, but it was warehouse retail. So it was kind of cool to get that idea, and it was home improvement stuff. So I got to learn a lot about that style, and I really liked it. From there, still working at GameStop, I ended up going to Lowe's. Paid me more money, and I liked the atmosphere. I'm not wrong. Both places have things that I love. Home Depot had a couple perks that I miss, and And Lowe's had some perks that I like. So I loved Lowe's. I ended up quitting GameStop because the company was changing a lot and I didn't need it, and it was making me more depressed than it was helping me with a job. So I went down to Lowe's. I was in a car accident and I was a bit sore, and because of me having some lifting issues, it caused a little bit of friction between me and my management team. And like I said, I'm not gonna trash talk or anything. There was a little bit of friction that probably didn't need to happen, but it happened. I got offered a job at Winco, so I took it. Left Lowe's, went to Winco. I heard great things from Winco. I'll just say that I never felt fully in at Winco. I was made a lot of promises walking in the door by their assistant store manager that never ever came true. And that assistant store manager was let go from the company 2 or 3 months into the store opening anyway, so it's not like much of that carried over. And when, like I said, I don't want to say anything bad at Winco. I just want to say is Winco did things in a very opposite direction than any retail that I've ever been into. And I actually talked to a few people who worked I remember talking to someone who worked with Home Depot with me and went to Winco, and he said, yeah, it's very opposite of what you would think would be done. If you plan on going long-term, Winco is definitely a place to be if you plan on looking for a job to retire in and that kind of stuff. Winco definitely has a place for you. If you're just need a job I don't know if I'd recommend it. It's not really worth it. I left Winco, was offered a manager position at Party City. I thought it was going to be a new turn for me. It was awesome, giving me, I technically had management training experience. I just had no official management titles under my belt. So I thought this would be a great experience. I went into it, and it was a great learning experience. I learned a lot. I got to do a lot. It just didn't end well, unfortunately, just because of a miscommunication. And one small thing turned into a giant thing just for the simple fact that I didn't know about it. That's what happens sometimes when you're not trained fully. You have to bite the bullet and take something. And that brings back to just the simple fact that retail has changed so much that it's different. It's so horrible that even managers are afraid of losing their job just for the simple fact that you have to make a customer happy. And we have to make customer happy to an extent and it sucks too, because you Karens out there that exist. Oh my God, you ruin the workforce, because we have to make every customer happy, but we have to follow the rules. Well, here's the thing: is the rules are a invisible line that we know that's there, but we don't know how to go through it, because you Karens know that it's there, and you'll push us because we have to make you happy, but at the same time, we're not supposed to cross the line, but we have to make you happy. So it's a gray area, because sometimes corporate will tell us cross that line to make Karen happy, but then if we're crossing that line too much to make Karen happy, well, then they're mad at us. Or if we cross it at the wrong time. It's so horrible, because really, if you retail, we're training people to abuse the system. We're training people to be idiots. We are. Retail is. It's been doing that for years. Marketing, advertising, social media. I mean, because of everything. And I get it, but it's an experience now. It is, because it's no longer going to a grocery store and picking up your groceries is no longer just about, did you get your milk, and maybe pay okay prices. No, it's, did you get the best deal in town? Did you have 25 customers walk up and ask you how your day was? Did you have somebody basically carry you through the store, carry your product for you? Did you get to be first one in line? Here's the thing: if you don't get all that, you're screwed. You are. It's straight up, you are, because stores go off of reviews and other surveys and that kind of stuff. And every company I've worked for, let's say there's 10 stars. Unless you get 10 stars, you fail. If you get 9, you fail. Straight up. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, how is that even possible? Um, and systems are forcing, I'd say, but they're forcing customer service to go in a direction that it'll never, it'll eventually pop like a bubble in a very bad way. And what I mean by that is if you look at everything that's been happening, everything going on, uh, they it used to be customer service. We need to focus on making sure we make the customer happy. Now, you need to make the customer happy, but you also have a timely manner to complete this. Also, I have the right to come up with other tasks on top of my head to throw you off. So even if you create a routine to fix all these done and help customer service, I can throw a wrench into your plan at any time I want to because I am a manager and I can invoke that. And guess what? If you don't complete your task, you're failed. If you have an 8-hour day and because of cashiers calling out, they put you on a register for, let's say, 6 hours out of your 8-hour shift. Well, you have to take a lunch, so there's a 30-minute lunch in there. So now you have an hour and a half. You have an hour and a half to restock 8 locations, 8 large locations. Actually, probably more than that because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll say between 8 and 10 large locations you have to restock. But you also have to make sure you're helping customers. Don't go over your time, but make sure you leave on time. But don't leave until you finish your stuff. And it's just so ridiculous because it can't be done. I mean, something like that may be done in 4 hours, but not in an hour. You know what I mean? It's just... retail's going away, and the whole world's going to shit with politics, with the rich really eating us, the poor, because, oh my god, I mean, I get it, there's unfortunately a lot of people in the system that abuse it and manipulate it, but guess what, you fuckers made it that way, you rich assholes up on top purposely made it that way. I myself, so I'm right now, I just filed for unemployment. I'm waiting to see if I hear back. Since I was fired from Party City, I don't know if I'm going to get unemployment. I'm going to try the best I can to get it while I'm looking for a job because I need some money. But with that said, I filed for unemployment years and years and years ago. I was still working at GameStop, but when I was let go from my full-time job at Granger, I took me about 3 weeks to find a job at Home Depot. Well, about 3 weeks, because I was let go, I want to say on like November, well, maybe it was no more than 3 weeks. I was let go like November 11th, or November 9th. It was like the day before my birthday. My birthday was November 10th. And I started like the second week of December. No, I started in January. So actually, I was out of a job. Well, I was only on that job for then. Oh shit, I didn't think about that. So probably closer to 8 weeks. Oh, I didn't even think about it now. Now I'm doing math. Ooh, that's not good. But either way, I filed. It took me forever. I was just really upset because it was busy season. Even though I was laid off, the company that I was laid off from was taking a long time to do any of their paperwork for the unemployment people. And unemployment was confused because I had quit a job 3 weeks before I was let go, but I didn't know I was going to get let go. And you know what I got for like 8 weeks of filing? $166. And when I asked why, they said, oh, well, you were working at GameStop 15 hours a week. I was a functioning member of society, and I got like no help. And you know what's funny is those types of plans are more and more what Trump is trying to crack down and get rid of. I know a lot of you rich people out there, well, yeah, you need to earn the money. Well, you know what's funny? A lot of you people were given your job. You were. Whether it be your family came from a wealthier area or simply they trained you to be in a position. This day and age, those positions fill up quick. And not only that, but like me, I'm not going to go be a doctor. Why? Because I get grossed out in the fact of putting stitches in someone. And quite frankly, I don't want to have someone's life in my hands in that situation. Not at all. I'm not going into the military because I don't really believe in what the country is fighting for at this moment. Not only that, but as you can see, I'm a little overweight. Just a smidge. They won't take me. Yeah, I'm sure some of you people might comment, well, when you're going to be poor soon, you'll be starving, so maybe you'll lose weight and get in. Maybe. Who knows? There's so much. Our company's so. And I have people say, why don't you go to college? No, wrong. I would have loved to go to college, and I'm still debating on going back to college. It's such a great area to go to college because just because you go to college doesn't guarantee you a job unless you go into one of those ones that nobody wants to work. Those positions that are training people every day that nobody wants, or even jobs you hadn't even heard of yet because they're new jobs being developed. No, wrong. Some of those new jobs are awesome. They are. But I just don't know about them because I haven't heard about them yet. But I mean, like here, a mechanic. Now, granted, mechanics aren't, because there's mechanics everywhere. But there's trade school, 2 years trade school, and people say, why don't you do that? Become a mechanic. Here's the problem. I like working on vehicles when they're my vehicle. I don't know if I can work on every Dan, Sue's, and Mike's car that rolls up. And also, not only that, but you got to pay for that schooling. So I'm going to put myself through 2 years of schooling for a job that I don't even like, put myself in debt for a job I'm not even going to be happy for. Other people say, well, go to college, just get your degree out of the way. Here's the problem. A lot of these people today are going, if you go to a 4-year or longer college, let's just say a 4-year, you're going to put yourself anywhere between $25,000 and $100,000 in debt. You know what job you're going to get? You're going to get a job that pays you probably about $40,000 a year. Maybe $60,000 if you're lucky. So you just put yourself $100,000 in debt for a job that's going to pay you $40,000 a year. Yeah, I've been as I job hunt on Indeed. A lot of these jobs that pay the $36,000 a year. Well, we want you to have a 4-year degree. What asshole has a 4-year degree, $100,000 in debt, wants to go work for $36,000 a year? You see where our system is messed up. Also, minimum wage. Let's even talk about that. Like, how fucked up minimum wage is. Because minimum wage is so messed up. And you rich people try to say, well, every time we raise minimum wage, we got to raise the prices. No, you don't, actually. You know what's funny? Is you don't. Back in the day, I get why we had to raise prices because we wanted healthier foods. We wanted to put more regulations. So we had to hire someone to take that position. So if we're going to charge that, we got to charge and raise prices here. I get that. That makes sense. But the rich are trying to say that raising minimum wage will inflate the economy and make everything worse. In the last 60 years, I was reading a graph the other day, and I've read a couple of them looking at it. The low income our minimum wage has gone up roughly about 18 to 20% in 60 years. The rich and powerful, all their jobs, they've gone up in the last 60 years. Oh my God. I think 200% or something like that. It was such a high number. It's overshot insanely. And it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Because who's really fucking up the economy? Not us. Not the guy who can either buy a 99-cent Arizona or a Funko Pop to make himself happy just because his life miserable. Or the guy who's spending $1,000 on his second yacht. Back in the day, minimum wage was created for a position. Now, I never wanted, minimum wage is not supposed to be something where you're walking around with Rolexes and high class and everything, okay? It's not. But minimum wage was created so that you can have a sustainable living for an adult, and I believe I want to say, was it 2 or 3 kids under your belt? So it's made for that situation. You may not be walking around wearing Air Jordans, but you are walking around in clean clothes. You have full stomachs from the food you ate because you have a full fridge and pantry. Maybe not every kid is walking around with a Switch, but we could probably afford to rent a movie tonight to watch. Maybe not every kid is pulling up in a, maybe you're not, maybe the person in the house isn't pulling up in a Porsche, but they can afford their payments on their minivan to drive their kids to school and drive to work. This day and age, you can't. This day and age, minimum wage doesn't pay for that. Minimum wage, you have to work 3 full-time minimum wage jobs just to have that lifestyle. And here's the problem. Where do you have that? Where in there do you have that? You don't. And worst thing is jobs nowadays are getting worse, more harsh, because jobs will claim that they will work around your schedule, and they won't. They super won't. And a lot of times the ones that will give you 5 to 10 hours a week. Oh, we'll work with your schedule. Well, they'll give you 10 hours a week. This other job will give you 10 hours a week, and then your third job gives you 10 hours a week. You're only working 30 hours, and you're stressing yourself out making sure everybody gets your schedule. What is that about? You're making no money. Really, you're not. Because you have to think about the gas driving between each job. Think about it's not feasible at all. You should have one minimum wage job that pays minimum wage. It should be able to pay you enough that you can afford your apartment or your house payment, whatever you have set up. It should be able to afford you to put food in your house. This day and age, there's a couple things that have changed. We need I'd say, but a cell phone and internet is needed. Do we need TV? No, you don't. You do not need TV. Do you need internet and phone? Yes, you do. Now you say, why is that? Well, here's the thing. You need a phone because almost nobody has a house phone anymore. If you want to get a house phone, be my guest. Do it. But I'm going to say a cell phone's more practical because if you're looking to apply for jobs, if you're looking to extend out to find a better job and you want to get that phone call, if you're away from your house, a lot of employers, if you don't pick up that first ring, they won't call you again. I know because I've been with those employers. I have. I've been a manager. I know how it works. If you don't pick up your first time, well, you're not worth my time. And they move on to the next person. And it's not even fully the manager at the time's fault. It's corporate has made us think that way and made us work that way. We could have a perfect candidate we know will be great for this job, but because we missed the phone call because he's working 2 other part-time jobs just to survive, or he has his phone turned off because he's trying to get his baby to sleep, he's now lost out on that opportunity. So you need a phone. Internet. You need to be able to apply for jobs. Whether you have a laptop at home or whether you're using your phone. I use my phone. I have a laptop that is garbage. It's garbage. I bought it on Black Friday, and it is a piece of shit laptop. It doesn't do shit for me. I regret buying it. A waste of my $200, that's for sure. It was like $200-$300, and I was an idiot. I shouldn't have bought it. I should have taken someone with me to help me. I just thought I recognized the brand. I recognized the company. Thought it was going to be a good buy. I was dumb. That was me. You need internet. You need to be able to job hunt. You need to be able to download coupons. You need to be able to check the weather. They don't always post. If you're not paying for TV, you need to know if your kid's school is canceled today. So they're not waiting out by the bus stop. If you're not paying for TV, you need to know if there's a car wreck or a situation nearby that you need to be warned about. You need a phone and internet. You just need it. Simple as that. And worst part is internet has gone up too over the years. That's another big issue they're fighting because internet is, I hate to say it is a necessity. It is. You have people who are trying to charge internet outrageous prices. So my first time I paid for internet on my own was my first apartment over on North Natchez Ave. I paid $29.99 a month. Now, that was a deal at the time, but I signed up, so $30 a month. You want to know what I'm paying right now for my internet? For the same internet that I paid for, and that first apartment was probably maybe 6 years ago, 7 tops, but I want to say it was like 5 or 6 years ago. Like I said, paid $30. Today, 5 or 6 years later, I am paying almost $80 just for internet. Just for internet. $80. That is ridiculous. That is a skyrocket price. And we know what's funny is when I first moved to this apartment, they gave me 40 because for the deal. Well, then the deal ended and they jacked me up to 60. Wasn't happy about it, but whatever. Well, then they jacked me up to 80, and I called them and said, "Why did you jack me up to 80?" And they said, "Oh, well, we in your area we decided we weren't making enough money. We did an audit, so we're gonna charge you more." That should not be allowed. It shouldn't. Oh, so you think? Oh, well, you know what? We got these assholes to pay us 60. Let's keep going. Let's see how far we can keep going until they turn us off. Let's just keep going. Let's raise the price. And they wonder why we're starving, why we're having situations, why we're stressing out. It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. I don't know. I started this video saying I'm a Renaissance man, and the fact that, as you can see, I do a lot of things. I have a poster right behind me, Soundgarden poster that I got at the concert. I loved when I got to see Soundgarden. So you have a Gears of War replica gun on the wall there, because I'm a Gears of War nut. I have a bunch of Funko Pops and Power Ranger replicas up there, because I grew up with Power Rangers. Got a Doom poster when I used to work at GameStop. That is a red Superman cape hanging up there. I got it on sale when I was at Party City. Hey, when it's $1, you kind of feel like buying it. It was regular like $30. I think I got it for like $1. And if I turn around, you'll see, yes, there is a cat poster on my wall, on my door. That was my ex-girlfriend's. The only thing that's left up there of hers, and I'm okay with it because it suits me. Go away, and I love cats, so who cares, right? You can see I do have some items laying around here. I do got some. Don't get me wrong, I've been selling these things for the last 2 weeks to try and stay afloat. I have been selling stuff. I love music. I love video games. I love movies. I actually would love to go one day. And my careers, that's another thing I've been told, you need to single your career out. And it's hard. It's getting harder and harder to do that because there's so much I want to do. My key goal, I hate to say it, is to become rich and famous and powerful for one exact reason: to make the world better. I would like to be able to become so powerful that I can set up foundations to help people like me. Years ago, I didn't know where I was going to live. I slept in my car in the Home Depot parking lot in the middle of winter for a couple nights. I lived at a drug dealer's house for a few weeks, got robbed and threatened with guns, just because I didn't know where else to go. I didn't. Because I wasn't pregnant with a baby, because I wasn't a woman, and because I wasn't a recovering drug addict, there was nowhere for me to go, or a mental patient trying to kill people, or a convict trying to, there was nowhere for me to go. I was just a guy trying to work, trying to make the best of his situation, and there was nothing out there for me. And even people, and I'm not trying to say that, the other people have it easy, because they don't. I've known people with kids who fear trying to find places. And that's the thing, I don't have a kid, but I know that when I do, I never want my kid to have that fear of knowing where they're going to sleep tonight or where their next meal is coming from. I want to be able to change that status in the future. I would love to own a retail corporation or stores in general where my employees are paid very well, treated very well. My customers are treated well, but at the same time, they know where the line is. I want there to be an open dialogue with my employees too. Like if there's going to be things I wouldn't have thought about. I'm not on the sales floor daily. Why can't they tell us that? Why? I would love to hear from my employee, hey, I've been noticing this. Why don't we try this? Most corporations, they don't want to hear shit from you. And most of them are too afraid to even try to ask because it could put you on the map to get fired. Just because you annoyed them, you talked to them, you made, they don't want to hear it. They don't care. You're not worth their time. And how am I going to get rich and famous today? Well, there's a lot of ideas I've had. Not quick. I've always loved writing. I've been told I'm really good at writing. I bought a laptop hoping I could start writing. It sucks. It doesn't even run Microsoft Word on it, so I can't even do typing or writing on there. I know people say, well, have a notebook. Well, my hands, unfortunately, cramp up. They do. My hand's cramping up just holding the phone right now this long. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. I'm probably going to have arthritis growing up here. I don't mean to, but I probably will. And I blame that on my millennial age. I was brought up to type most of my stuff on keyboards versus writing them out. I did it. So now my hands, when writing, especially if I'm writing with a purpose, cramp up quick. Like, I can write, I might fill out my application, that kind of stuff, not a big deal. But if I have to sit there and start writing, I get a page or two in, and my hand cramps up hard. I can feel blood vessels just popping or dying in my hand. It hurts. My hands just freeze up, and it hurts. And that's what I said. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have arthritis growing up later. But I've always loved storytelling. Storytelling, I'm trying to use that in my social media style. Acting, I've done a few... I've done a little bit of stage work and improv work, and been told I'm pretty funny. I'm told I'm pretty good at acting, and I wouldn't mind going into that field. I've tried to. There's just not a lot of venues around here. But I would love to do that. Directing. I would love to direct movies. I've written some short stories I would love to make into movies. We're going back to writing. I've always wanted to write for Marvel Comics. I have some cool storylines for them. But then again, I've also had some cool storylines that I can open up my own comic book industry to help starting writers and illustrators get into the field. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to have a big corporation where I can run all these different businesses. I'd love to hire my closest friends and family to help me run it, because a lot of these people I work with, I trust. I really do. And I probably trust too much. I probably do. But the friends that I've made over the years, I know are good workers. There's one of my best friends, Kyle Chandler. Everything, he's a hard worker. He puts himself into everything he does. And I know that he's a guy that I can rely on for anything. Chelsea Strawn. After working with her, I realized when it comes to being efficient to detail, getting all the numbers in the right place, making sure that everything is proper and set up correctly, she is go-to on that. Michaela Lowry, I remember working with her, and she is great at engaging with customers, coming up with best new ways to market product. Working with Gavin Loudon, one of the nicest, sweetest guys on the entire planet, and he will go above and beyond to make your day if he can, because that's the kind of guy he is. He's a great guy. And there's so many names more I can put in this. Trent Golov, who he may be a smart ass, but you know what? He knows what the hell he's doing, and so he will give you an honest answer. But he may be a jackass and a smart ass, but at the end of the day, he has a warm heart. At the end of the day, he'll do something just because of it, just to be nice. Now, he won't advertise it because he doesn't want people to start thinking he's nice, but he'll do it for you, because if you're close and important to him, he'll do it because he does care. He has a good heart. Allie may be out there. She may be annoying at times, but you know what? She's also one of the coolest and just down-to-earth people you'll meet, and I think maybe there's times where I'm worried that she's a little like me with her imagination. It just goes so many places, and I want her to keep that. I don't want her to ever run into the place where I'm at, where I have all these ideas and I can't do anything with them because no one will give me the shot. And I don't want her to ever run into that. I want her to keep growing like the flower she is and let her imagination grow, because that's what we should be doing. That the world is born with so many different styles of people out there, and I'm not saying no one's imagination is better than someone else's, but when we're put on this earth and over the years we exist, some of us realize we have a knack for putting a car together. Some of us realize we have a knack for cooking food and coming up with cool recipes just for, Some of us realize we're great at writing music. Look at Beethoven and all that shit back in the... What if Beethoven, instead of wanting to write music, decided that he wanted to be a horse salesman? Not sure how well that would have worked for him, but guess what? He was meant for the music. I mean, we're all meant for different things, and sometimes it takes a while to find that knack. But the problem is, what really sucks is when the world doesn't want you to do your ability, your thing. I do a lot of social media trying to help, just try to help with some of this creativity out of me, whether it's being on TikTok, ranting on YouTube. I just started doing Twitch, video gaming, and talking on there. I myself have so much to say. As you can see, I've already spent... I thought this was going to be a 10-minute video. I'm 35 minutes into the video. I'm trying to wrap it up so you guys can go eat some dinner or relax. Whether it's talking about politics and trying to create a better world for us, whether it's trying to talk about our financial system, whether it's trying to just... The end goal is they're all the same. Our world is not as good as it could be, and it needs to be better. And I want it to be better. I want to do more with the world. I want to create a better living environment for the future kids to come. Because we already know the environment is really screwed. And we got to bust ass to even try to make it so that my kids can even breathe. I already can tell the air is bad because I have time breathing. Yes, I'm a bigger guy, but I can also tell early in the morning when the fog's out and the smoke's out, I'm choking. But then the air's gone and I'm okay. So it's getting bad. And eventually it's going to get even worse. So we have to bust ass to make this world better. And we can only do that together. I can't do it on my own. That's why I'm trying my best to meet new people, to create new and engaging environments so we can together make this place better. If you sat through and watched this whole video, thank you so much for listening to me. If you have anything you'd like to add to it, please in the comments let me know. Like I said, I'm currently trying to work on 2 YouTube shows, hopefully in the very near future. If I can get... one of them will be doing car tutorials, hopefully, if I can get that landed by next month. I would love to do... I've been writing a Power Ranger D&D campaign, kind of like Power Rangers Hyperforce from Hyper RPG. But I wrote my own storyline. I think it's really good. I think it'll do great. I just want to advertise it like Critical Role does and like Hyperforce did. I just need cameras and a location and essentially 5 other people to guarantee that they'll sit at least once a month to do this with me. And I think that'll go well as soon as I get all that set up. If I can make some money and open up my DLC coffee, that'd be great. I was still wanting to open up my coffee shop. But either way, like I said, thank you again for watching. Hopefully you guys have a great night. If I don't stream before Christmas, I hope I will. But if I don't, I know I'll be on TikTok every day, pretty much every day. Actually, yeah, every day till Christmas for sure. Because I've been doing my Marvel Advent calendar. So go find me on TikTok for the fun. Or find me on Instagram. I'm always posting fun stuff there. Either way, thank you for listening to me rant. Thank you for being a follower and a subscriber. Please share. You don't have to share this video because I'm sure you're like, I don't know how to market sharing this to my friends. But Tyler, we're friends, but like, I don't know how Dave's gonna watch this video. He's gonna be like, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean. So share my account, get me out there. Thank you. More followers, I would greatly appreciate it. Just so I know I'm not alone out there. Otherwise, have a great night. Happy holidays. Take care. As always, stay classy.